First of all, congratulations. How are you feeling being here at Comic-Con celebrating this wonderful piece of work?
Well, it's kind of funny. A friend of mine and I were at the San Diego Comic Con about 10 years ago, and I had just started thinking about the idea of doing my own personal film around a tiger and a girl. But we were here at Comic Con, and then Roger, who ended up being the co-producer of the film and head of post-production and all of that. And he said, wouldn't it be fun when this project is done to show it at Comic Con? And now to actually be here and do that, it's surreal. It gives you goosebumps, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because we thought about it way back then.
Yeah. I know. I heard that it took 10 years. Now, that is such an incredible timeline. What did that process look like roughly for you? Was it 10 years consistently, kind of 10 years on and off? What did that look like?
It was not consistently. I had to take a few breaks, which was kind of good, actually, because then you come back fresh to your project. Very early on, we had just started storyboarding, and then I had the opportunity to write a book on Disney's old animators, who I actually knew personally, and write about them and their art, so I couldn't turn that down. So I took off maybe 10 months or something like that to do that book project. And then later on, I did a couple of exhibitions. I curated a couple of exhibitions for the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. The first one was about Mickey Mouse and the history of Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney. And then the second exhibition, which just closed earlier this year, was on the movie The Jungle Book, which happened to be the first Disney film I ever saw. So that was a big honor. So of course you take time doing those things. So if in time, if I would count the years, I would say it's more like 7 years of doing this. But the main reason for that long of a time is really because our crew was so small. You know, it was not easy finding people who could still do this and also had the free time to do this. So we remained a very, very small crew, but everybody was a big pillar on it. Just give you one example. The backgrounds were painted, 80% of the backgrounds, which is most of them, were painted by one lady, by Natalie. Natalie Franscioni-Karp, who painted backgrounds on Lion King, Aladdin, and all of those. And she was available over the years and really established this beautiful, sketchy, watercolor style almost, and I'm so proud of her and happy with the way the backgrounds look because they add a special mood to the film in terms of color and looseness.
I want to ask you, I'm very curious. So, obviously, it's a hand drawn animation. What is it that made you kind of go back to the roots of like old school? I grew up with Winnie the Pooh and everything like that. So, that's what I love to see. I mean, I love the modern day animation style as well. But what made you guys go back in time to the roots of animation like that for the film?
Well, I never really left 2D animation. Even at Disney, my last film there was Winnie the Pooh, which is a feature-length film where I had the opportunity to animate Tigger. So it never really left me. And when I was on my own, it would have to be 2D as well, because that's who I am. That's who I express myself as an artist. Because I'm still so fascinated by the idea that this is even possible, that you can draw something and make it move and make people believe that this is real. Because kind of isn't. It's just paper and pencil, you know, and you film it and you fool the eye that this is moving. That whole thing, to me, is the ultimate magic trick. And so that's how I wanted to do Mushka. And yeah, it's all hand-drawn.
Now, I want to ask you, finally speaking, what do you think that the audience is going to walk away talking about after they see this film? What do you think will resonate with them?
Well, hopefully they will be reminded again that the magic of moving drawings is still strong, that there's still people who do this, who make those kinds of films, and also audiences who appreciate this. It's not old school or forgotten, old-fashioned. It still can be fresh and relevant. And the other thing I want maybe students to take away is that try your own project. You know, it's not that expensive anymore because we don't use film anymore. 35 millimeter film in the old days, that was the biggest expense for an independent filmmaker to transfer your artwork onto 35 or 60 millimeter film. Now it's just a file. It's nothing. So please, if you have an idea for a 2-3 minute film, it's just your time and your talent. Do it.
I love that. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much and congratulations. Oh my gosh, thank you again.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.